Hello world, thank you for checking me out. I really appreciate it. Today in this video I'm going to talk about moods, and I guess I'm going to focus on negative moods, what causes negative moods, and like things that we don't think about that affect our moods and make us angry, upset, depressed, and just not ready to deal with people on the proper terms. All right, have you ever been in like a situation where you and your close friend, you're arguing about something, you both get really heated and angry at each other, only to come to the next day and no one really knows what they were mad about or what they were angry about? I think a lot of you can relate to that. And I think the majority of the time when we have this experience, it's not really what happened. It's not really what you did or what the other person did, but maybe some other external factors in your environment and what you're around and the situation that you're around is what brought you and your friend to that point. All right, I'm going to talk about a few things that ruin our moods and make us unhappy, and we're not even really aware of it. One of the first things that I'm going to talk about, which is pretty obvious and pretty simple, is the weather. The weather has a major effect on our moods, and I don't think the weather gives us a negative mood. I think it's us. I think that the fact that when we get certain weather, we run from it. I think that is what affects our moods and makes us unhappy and, steals our personality. Think about, on a sunny day, you feel good. You feel alive. You feel vibrant. Your energy's good. And, I guess to everyone, that's perfect. That's the situation that you want to be in, a beautiful sunny day. But there are reasons to this, and when I say reasons to this, reasons why people associate sunny days with just good feelings and stuff. And one of those reasons is that it's because of the effects that sunlight has on your mental health, and specifically sunlight going through your eyes. Sunlight going through your eyes, it helps your brain. It helps your eyes. Your eyes trigger the message to your brain, and your brain is able to create a lot of hormones that keep you happy and keep you well and keep your mind in a good place. And some of those brain hormones, for example, are dopamine and serotonin and melatonin. Melatonin is more of a sleep hormone, sleep and regeneration hormone, which is, still nevertheless very important. If you don't regenerate, your mood's not going to be that great. And those are just a few that I know out of the top of my head. But there's many others, maybe some that are undiscovered, that we make directly from sunlight going through our eyes. And I'll tell you the spectrum of sunlight that makes the most of these, or makes the majority of these. The UV spectrum. The UV spectrum makes the majority of these hormones through your eyes. So this is one of the biggest things that has an effect on your mood. So, if there's a situation you got to give someone some bad news or something, take them outdoors so that they can handle the news much better. All right. The next situation that I'm going to talk about that affects our moods is our work environment. We all have to go to work, and when we go to work, we have to deal with a completely artificial environment, which is that's going to play with our moods anyway. A lot of people think, oh, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to go there. I think a lot of that negative feeling or negative associations about work is not so much because it's work, but because of the environment of work. It's divorcing you from nature, and it's just marrying you to artificial environment, and that is just draining by itself, and that's draining on your mood, and it just makes you, not happy, or not as happy as you could be. And at work, like what things at work affect your mood? Usually at work we have like a bunch of electronics and appliances and stuff like this, and we're probably working right next to them. Like if you're in your workplace, you're sitting right next to a refrigerator, move. I bet you're angry all the time. I bet you're in a bad mood all the time. You don't know why. If you're next to a microwave, hey, seriously, come on. You're really, really destroying yourself. And yeah, your work environment. This is really, really important. And also with your work environment, you're going to be under artificial light, probably blue spectrum light, the light from computer screens, the light that brightens the room. Usually is blue spectrum light, and this is dead light, which it doesn't help your biology any. We get way too much of it every day. It's in the sun, but the sun, the amount in sun is balanced by a bunch of other frequencies of light in the sun. When you're at work in an artificial place, you're getting full just blue light, and that is toxic. Blue light by itself in large doses is toxic. Actually, in any dose, it's kind of toxic. It pays a toll on you. It pays a toll on your personality, and it pays a toll on your mood. It's kind of slow, so it's not as noticeable, and people ignore it and they think it has no effect, but it does. There's lots of science to back this up. If you don't believe me, just go to PubMed or something and start doing your own homework. The next place, or the next situation that I'm going to talk about of things that kill your mood, is think about the transportation, the type of transportation that you use to get from point A to point B, to get around to places. Public transportation, like a bus or a train or something like this. These things, they have varying degrees of negative effects on our biology, but they all have negative effects on our biology. Transportation is just choosing the lesser of all of the evils when you choose your transportation. And I'll go through some various transportations that we use and how much energy they suck out of our body. And again, when you suck energy out of your body, this is what kills your mood. And whatever kills your mood, whatever lowers your energy, kills your mood. Because if you don't have enough energy, you're just really impatient with life, you're really impatient with everything, and you're not going to be the best person. So back to the topic, or back to what I was talking about, transportation. All right, if you take transportation, I think the best public transportation you could take is maybe a bus, because at least on a bus, you have real lighting coming through the window, some real lighting. I mean, you won't, no glass. Really, even better would be transportation with no glass. But regular light through the glass is okay too if you have no options. The next thing, I think, the next worst thing down is maybe a subway, because subways, it's a closed system. You're in a metal tube. Everyone's using their cell phones. All the Wi-Fi is bouncing off. You're basically in a microwave. You're inside of a train. You're inside a metal tube. It's a microwave, and you're being microwaved slowly by everyone's cell phone. And also, it's just pure artificial light. It's pure artificial light, and the whole situation is just not that great. And you want to avoid that. And I guess the next best thing, well, actually, it's not the next best thing. It's probably about on the same level. Is it's going to be a surprise. Your car is not that great. At least with the car, you can limit the amount of time that you're under these conditions. But your car has it carries usually you can buy a device to check it. Your car has a magnetic and sometimes electric fields that you're exposed to that steal energy from your body or interfere with the functioning of your mitochondria. and yeah, your car. And some cars more than others. So when you next time you buy a new car, you may want to take this into consideration. You may want to buy a smart meter, tri-meter, or something, not smart meter, but a tri-meter, something like this, to test your car and find out how bad it is, so that you can get a car that is the least of all of the evils. And another thing that steals energy from you as far as transportation, a motorcycle. Motorcycles are pretty bad. If you're on a motorcycle, I measured mine, and it's pretty horrible, and it just made me want to throw it away. But I guess I gotta prioritize like how much time I spend on it, and just avoid as much as I can and use it only when absolutely necessary. So yeah, transportation has effects on your mood, on your personality, and all of these things can affect like how you deal with people and how you react in certain situations. Okay, so to end this video, I'm going to talk about like when you get into like an argument with your friend or significant other, things to think about. All right, when you're in a bad mood, when you know you're in a bad mood, you should think about like what you did that day prior to that mood. You'll get your answers. You'll probably get your answers if you do this. Like think about where you spent your time. Like if you went to a restaurant, what restaurant did you go? Did you sit by a window? Did you sit next to an air conditioner, or you sit next to some electrical equipment or device? Think about these things, because these are what probably led up to you having a bad mood. So think about what you did before, and also think about the weather. How was the weather? Like if it was cloudy, or if it was raining, or if it's been raining for like the past few days, and you get into like a really big bad argument, that's probably the reason. And you should probably just you should probably be a lot more compassionate with whoever you're talking to, and wait until the conditions are better and talk about whatever it is that you're arguing about then. And if you do that, you'll probably come to find out that there was probably nothing to argue about at all in the first place. And also, when you're with your partner, your friend, and you're going to places, you're going to a restaurant, you're going to places where you hang out socially, pay attention to the environment of these places that you go to hang out at. Like, pay attention to the people that work there. If they're all like tired and sick and stuff like this, and just angry, and something's draining them, and whatever's draining them is going to drain you. So it's best to just find a new place. And when you go to a place, sit next to a window. Don't go to the deep, darkest place in the place. Sit next to a window. Expose yourself to natural light. And don't sit next to an air conditioner. If there's like electrical stuff on the ground, don't just move. Try to avoid this stuff. Pay attention to this stuff, because these things affect your mood. They take your personality away, and they decrease your quality of life. So that I'll end the video with this: things that kill our moods. So the next time you get into an argument, don't just be mad at the other person. Don't even just be mad at yourself, but don't you think about like what did you do that day, and also what did the other person do that day. Be more compassionate. Ask that person. If you're in a situation, everyone's angry, ask that person, like, how was your day? What'd you do? If their energy's gone, they probably need some food. They probably need some light. They probably need some compassion. So utilize these things and think about it the next time you're about to get into an argument with someone. Think about what you did. Also find out what they did, and you'll probably find out that they have very little control over the way they were acting. So I hope this video was informative. Thank you so much for watching, And peace and love to everyone. I love you and I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. A lot more videos to come. Please check me out. Please stay tuned. Please like. Please subscribe. I'm out. See you.